The birth of Samuel. Elkanah, who lived near Jerusalem, had two wives. One of them had children, but the other, called Hannah, did not. Poor Hannah, she longed for a baby and tried her best to wait patiently for God to bless her. But one day she could bear it no more. She fell to her knees in the temple and poured out her feelings to God. Please do not forget me, she sobbed. If you give me a son, I promise I will serve you all his life. He will serve you all his life. Please do. She didn't know that a priest called Eli was watching her. Whatever is the matter? He asked her. Are you ill? No, replied Hannah. I am sad because I do not have a child of my own. When Eli heard this, he was filled with pity. May God give you the child you long for, he said kindly. Sometime later, God answered Hannah's prayer, and she had a baby boy. I shall call our son Samuel, she told her husband, which means God hears. The dedication of Samuel. When Samuel was old enough, Hannah kept her promise to God and took her child to see the priest Eli. This is the son God gave me, she told him. Now I am giving him back to God. Please, will you take him and look after him? So far that day onwards, Samuel lived in the temple serving God, helping Eli and learning to become a priest. God gave Hannah more children, but she never stopped loving or missing her firstborn child, Samuel. She thought about him all the time. Every year she made him new clothes and took them to the temple. And every time that Hannah visited her son, she saw that he had grown not only in size but also in wisdom. How proud she was! She knew that God had chosen Samuel to be his special servant. The calling of Samuel. The priest Eli had two sons who also served in the temple, but they did not love or respect God as Samuel did, and often behaved very badly. Luckily, Eli could rely on Samuel. One night, when Samuel was still young, he was sleeping in his usual place in the temple. When he was woken by the sound of someone calling his name, Eli must need me, thought Samuel. Leaping out of bed and going to the old man, Eli was surprised to see him. I didn't call you, child, he said. Go back to God. Go back to bed. So Samuel lay back down and closed his eyes. Just as he was drifting off, he heard the voice once more. Samuel, it called. Once again, Samuel got up and ran to Eli. But again, Eli shook his head. I didn't call, he said. You must be dreaming. Samuel returned to his bed and tried to go to sleep, but he heard the voice calling a third time. He knew he wasn't dreaming, so he went to Eli once again. This time, the old man realized that something important was happening. I think God is calling to you, he told the boy. Go back to bed now, but if you hear him calling your name again, tell the Lord that you are ready to listen. I believe he has a message for you. Samuel went back to bed and the voice called his name again. Then God spoke to Samuel. He explained how angry he was with Eli's son. I will no longer allow them to serve in the temple, he announced. They are not fit to be priests. In the morning, Samuel was afraid to tell Eli what God had said, but the old man told him to be brave and truthful. So Samuel repeated God's message. You were right to tell me, said Eli. God knows what is best for all of us, even if it is not what we want to hear. Thank you. Bye.